David Frum's actually was one of the top neocons, pushed for the Iraq War, drove me crazy. I don't agree with David Frum on almost anything. And he was with the American Enterprise Institute, the main think tank for neocons. He was a former Bush speechwriter. There's no bigger cheerleader for Iraq, if you ask me, than David Frum. So I'm no friend of David Frum. But lately what he's been doing is saying, hey, listen, Republican Party, you're way too extreme. You're not going to win elections, and you're not going to hold power, which is what we want, of course, for our ideology, if you continue to be this radical, and if you continue to be led by Fox News and Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and the Tea Party protest guys. That is not the way to win national general elections. On this, David Frum is exactly right. So luckily for us, because we don't want them winning elections, they're not listening to David Frum. In fact, the Republicans were livid with him after he said, hey, look, this health care, once it passed, it's not Obama's Waterloo, it's our Waterloo. Because how the hell are you going to repeal this thing? It's got so many provisions that are obviously popular. What are you going to do? Tell people, oh yeah, you know what, from now on, even though this says that you will be covered if you have a pre-existing condition, we're going to repeal that. We're going to take it back. So if you or your child has a pre-existing condition, deal with it. It's like, you can't repeal that. That's going to be way too popular. And if you had just negotiated with them, what's funny is Frum is basically saying we could have watered down the bill so it was much less effective. Okay, we could have watered it down so it helped private industry more and wasn't so popular to the American people in the long run, right? So he's saying let's moderate here so we can win in the short run and in the long run. And the Republicans want no part of it. But here comes the interesting part. Today, he was fired from the American Enterprise Institute. Technically, he resigned, but he explains in his letter, here, I'll read you his letter to the head of the American Enterprise Institute. Dear Arthur, this will memorialize our conversation at lunch today. Effective immediately, my position as a resident fellow at American Enterprise Institute is terminated. I appreciate the consideration that delays my emptying of my office until after my return from travel next week. Premises will be vacated no later than April 9th. I mean, he's talking about thank you for not throwing out my stuff on the curb, okay? This was not amicable. This was not his decision, as his final paragraph will explain. I've had many fruitful years at the American Enterprise Institute, and I do regret this abrupt and unexpected conclusion of our relationship. In other words, he was fired over lunch, okay? Now, why did they fire him? He wasn't playing ball. He was criticizing Republicans. He was criticizing the right-wing media. The other day, he spoke out against Fox News. Oh, no, 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 no. If you don't play ball on the right-wing side, you lose your money. You lose your livelihood. You lose your plum spot at a think tank. You want to keep making hundreds of thousands of dollars for thinking? Okay. Well, what you do is you put out right-wing policy papers and you shut up. If you want to speak out and you want to make sensible points, even though you earnestly believe they'll help the Republican Party or the right-wing cause, sad day for you. You lose your job. This is how they keep people in line. So the next time some right-winger thinks, hey, maybe I should criticize the movement because it seems a little radical, you're going to think, remember what happened to David Frum? I'm not sure I want to lose my job. That's how they keep people in line. That's why this is a really important story. So Frum is gone now. I don't know how he's going to make a living. It's not like the left wing is going to take him. So it has real-life consequences. And the final irony to all this is that for the first time in his life, Frum is right. Okay, so go ahead and fire him. All it does is help Democrats and help progressives because you're going to get more and more radical, and when you do, you're going to lose more and more elections. And by the time you come back around to hiring Frum, it's going to be too late. So they did a great service to progressives in the country today, very, very ironically, by firing a neocon who couldn't be more right-wing in foreign policy.